We all say we want freedom, freedom of our time, freedom of money, freedom to live life on our own terms. But here's the thing, freedom comes with a cost. Trading is going to give you that opportunity to achieve that freedom, but it is going to ask you for something in return. And today we are going to unpack exactly what that looks like and how to decide if you're truly willing to pay the price. My name is Chrissy.
And I'm George.
And welcome to Married to the Market. And so today we're just going to unpack this because I think it's very important that we discuss this, especially for new beginners. We need to understand, why did we get started in this? And what are we willing to sacrifice? And what are we not willing to sacrifice? I think this is going to be a really good podcast. What I want you guys to do is stay until the end, because I am going to have some questions for you guys. And I want you to drop it in the comments, because we want everybody's undivided attention and for you to actually interact in this podcast today. Yep. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Why do people get into trading?
I mean, think about freedom, right? For us, we got in trading because of freedom. So for us, it's the 9-to-5 boss.
We didn't want that.
I didn't like the fact that I have to ask somebody if I could go to my wife's doctor appointment with her. So she was going through a health situation, and I feel weird going to another person asking them, hey, can I go to the doctor with my wife?
Yeah.
That just didn't feel right to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
for me, I would say financial freedom, just creating wealth on our own terms when we want to, right? My husband said health, but I said it was a health crisis that we were going through. Yeah. With that, we can trade at the hospital, while you're on vacation, you can trade anywhere. The fact that we did not have to clock into a 9-to-5 was just a little bit more convenient for us. And at the end of the day, trading, you have unlimited source. As I would say, it just depends on how much you're wanting to trade with. You can trade with a small amount, you can trade with a higher amount. That's why we always say everybody's percentage might be the same percentage, but the outcome is going to be different depending on how much you're trading with.
The results are going to be different. So that's why I always post percentages instead of the actual amount. Profits look different for somebody that's trading with $100 versus somebody that's trading with $10,000.
And we don't want to scare people off when you come into our group, because I remember those days when we first got started and everybody's trading, and it's so discouraging, right? You see somebody make 50 grand in a day and you made 5,000. It's like, wait, what? Or 500. It hits different.
But the process is going to be different for everybody.
Correct.
So the next thing is lifestyle, which you mentioned, right? Lifestyle freedom, because some people want to be able to say, you know what? I want to be able to spend time with my family. I want to go and on a vacation. I want to go wherever you want to go. You can go. You have the freedom to trade anywhere at any time.
Like, we're going to Jamaica next week. Yes. Yeah. And so obviously all we need is our laptop. So we're going to bring our laptop. So in the mornings, we're going to carve out that, right? That's part of our sacrifice. So we're going to carve out our mornings, and we're just going to trade for about an hour, and that's it. And then we'll be able to continue with our day, spend time with our kids, hang out at the pool, do certain things. Just like when we went to Grenada the other day, what did we do? We traded in the morning, and then we hit the streets in the afternoons.
Yeah.
So it's just nice having the ability to do this anywhere in the world. As long as you have Wi-Fi and a phone or even a laptop, you're good to go. That's all that you need.
The next part of it is, what are you not willing to sacrifice?
Ooh, that one is deep, right? And I think a lot of people are not thinking about this in the beginning. And this is why I think this was a very important conversation, guys, is because we need to know this stuff up front. We need to lay the foundation correctly. If you lay the foundation correctly, you're setting yourself up for success. For me, I'm not willing to sacrifice certain family time. If my kids have a performance at school, if they have a game for basketball, I am not willing to sacrifice. I don't want them to ever look back and say, you know what? Mom and dad was never there. Even though we were home, but we were never there.
I wasn't even willing to sacrifice that when I was working a 9-to-5.
That part.
So backstory, when we was doing car sales, Saturdays is the busiest days. If you know about car sales, the busiest days is Saturdays, but it's also the days when kids have games. My son used to have soccer games, and I would be like, yo, I gotta go. Right after the meeting, the meetings were normally at 8:00, and I'd be like, I'll be right back. He's like, yo, you're not even gonna ask me? I said, no, I'm not gonna ask you. I'm gonna tell you I'll be right back, because I'm not missing my son's game. My son is more important than this job. Yes, the job will provide and make sure that we have roof over our head. But at the end of the day, I have a limited amount of time with my son before he goes off. And I want to make sure that I do everything possible to make sure I give him that time.
Family time for us. That might look different for you, but for us, we're not willing to. And another thing that we're not willing to do is our health and wellness. So as you guys know, I've battled a lot with my health, and I'm at a stage where I'm in a really good place, but we also prioritize our health together. When working out, we've been taking care of ourselves. You guys know we've done 75 hard and completely transformed our mindset. Now, we were working out before that, but it was the inconsistency. But now we're consistent. Let me show you how deep we are, guys. Today is the first day back to school. We knew that we had to do this podcast. We have to trade at 9:30 in the morning. What time did we wake up this morning, babe?
4:30.
4:30 in the morning. People are probably like, you are out of your mind. But that's something that we're not willing to sacrifice. Our health is so important. So yes, that is at the forefront. We're going to wake up at 4:30 Monday through Friday and hit this gym and do what we need to do so we can set ourselves up for success.
The thing is, a lot of people, you prioritize what you want. People will prioritize or give what they feel like is best for them. And you have to think about, if you want to get to another level, right? You can't keep on doing the same thing you're doing right now. Okay. There's something that have to be done. There's some type of change that have to be done in the routine or in your routine. But there's also certain things that is non-negotiable, things that you're not willing to give up, right? And because we went through the health crisis, health is not one of them that we're willing to give up. Family time is not one of them that we're willing to give up. Those are things that we're not willing to give up, but also sleep.
That ties in with everything, right? Having a good sleep schedule.
Sleep. Because right now I need sleep.
Yes.
Right.
You have to.
We're gonna say, listen, you know what? Sleep is gonna be important because we have to make sure that we recover. We have to make sure everything works. We know our sons go off to school at a certain time. We have to work out. We know that we have a community that we have to take care of and we're a part of. So those things we have to line up to make
people
sure
are
that
counting on us, and we need to be in the best headspace.
Yeah.
Like
and to be in the best headspace is like, yo, I need sleep, but I also need to work out. I also need to make sure that I'm in the best shape.
Correct.
Right? So best mind space. So all of those work out to be like, all right, I need to be sharp.
And also another one that we're not willing to do is just being our integrity, right? When it comes to trading, we're not going to do something that's going to tarnish our name, our brand, tarnish just us, right? Because like I said, we have a community. Guys, if you do not know, we have a Discord called Married to the Market, and we are on social media as well. And people are counting on us. This is people's livelihoods that we're talking about. And we're never going to do anything for anyone to talk bad about us. We're just honest, hardworking people that just want to see everybody win. We just need to be ethical in everything that we do. Our trades are honest. We analyze, we do what we need to do. And there's nothing shady over here. A lot of times people think like, oh, trading is scamming. It's not. We do technical analysis. We understand price action. We know what we're doing. And we're not willing to do anything or collab with anyone that's going to harm us.
So if you're thinking about it, what are 3 things that you could write down that's going to be non-negotiable for you? No matter what, it's non-negotiable. And make sure that you stick to those.
Now the thing comes down, what are we willing to sacrifice? Freedom comes at a cost. Nothing is free in life. You got to give to get. Remember that in anything that you do in life, you got to give to get. So for me, instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to sleep in past my time, I'm not doing that. So I'm willing to sacrifice me getting up so I'm prepared. A lot of people might say, you know what, they're not willing to do 4:30 in the morning, but it's okay. I'm willing to do that because I want to be able, like we said, to be the best version of ourselves, to give and make sure that we're taking the right trade. So we like to trade at 9:30. From 9:30 to 11, that is our time. And there are people, you don't have to trade at that time. You can do afternoons, you could come in at 12, you could come in at 3, but you just have to figure that out for yourself.
And the thing is, for us, that's the morning time, right?
Yeah.
But for you, it could be nighttime. You could say, listen, you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice the night. Instead of going to bed a little bit early, let me take a little bit more time and carve out after I put the kids to bed. I'm going to stay up an extra hour, extra 2 hours to learn the charts, to learn how to trade, to develop my skills, to read a book, to do something that could better myself in trading. So it doesn't have to be early mornings. It could be late in the evenings that you say, all right, let me get quiet time.
And one thing that I have done also is sacrifice Netflix. I don't even have time for TV. I prefer to be studying the charts, analyzing what's going on in the market. I just think it's really important for me. So I'm going to put what's important to me to the forefront. And again, for you, you have to figure that aspect out. So no, I don't have Netflix no more. And I'm okay with it.
The thing is, we used to love a good movie, right?
Yeah.
We used to watch a good movie, but then we look at it and be like, all right, spend 2 hours watching a movie, or we could be sitting down and looking at the charts.
But we find it enjoyable. That's the thing.
It's entertainment, and you need to be entertained at some point. But what you could entertain yourself with is two different things. Looking at the charts. We was looking at the charts and be like, babe,
did you see that?
Did you see this?
Yeah.
Like, we get excited about certain things when it comes to trading. What I get pissed off about is if the trade actually gap up or something.
Oh,
and I'm like, I get pissed off. But we actually like doing that, and we find joy in that. So it just comes down to, what are you willing to sacrifice with that, and say, all right, you know what? I'm willing to give up Netflix instead of coming home watching football, coming home watching basketball, coming home and spending your time watching a sports.
Yeah.
Just say,
all the stats of a sport, but you might be in a financial crisis in your home and you need to bring in extra income. Like, that doesn't help. And I'm not judging anyone. We listen and we don't judge. But at the same time, if you know all the basketball stats and you're not where you need to be financially, we need to change our priorities, right? And if you're in the club, we sacrifice going out and partying for nights where we're back testing, journaling, and analyzing. What you do now in this season is just for the season, because every season changes. And you have to think about it like that. You could say, you know what? For this next year, I'm going to sacrifice certain things so I can get ahead. You take one step backwards so you can move 10 steps ahead. That's the concept we have to think about. Even though we're doing these sacrifices, don't think about it like it's forever. It's just for a season in your time. If you are weak-willed, then you do things in place. So if you really love movies, cut off the Netflix so you have no option to watch it. Just tell your friends from now, like, listen, for the next 6 months, I'm not going out. These are just things that we have to be willing to say and to do. Like, we're going to walk the walk, talk the talk.
And it might be hard, right? It might be hard to give up your favorite sport, but it's just for a season. Those athletes are making millions of dollars while you're watching them. They're out there doing what they're supposed to do to make the money, while you're here and sitting down and saying, all right, I'm in this position. I can use this 2 hours. Football games are 3 hours. You could use 3 hours. Even if you use 1 hour out of the football game, instead of watching the whole game, watch half of the game, but give yourself at least something to study to make sure that you're bettering yourself in trading.
So what I want you to do is get a pen and paper, get a journal, because I have some reflective questions. I told you this is kind of interactive. You can share with me. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. But if not, just write this down. The first thing I want you guys to do in your journal is, what does freedom look like for you specifically? Right? I want you to write that down. I want you to jot it down, because this is how we're going to create a plan for you going forward. The second thing I want you to write down is, am I willing to shift my schedule or routine to create time for trading? Are you willing to say, you know what? I'm not going to take any morning calls if you are working a 9 to 5. And I'm going to switch those to the afternoon so I could be on or married to the markets from 9:30 to 11. Or even if it's 9:30 to 10 or 10:30, are you willing to adjust your schedule slightly for a better outcome? The third question that I want you to jot down is, what habits do I currently have that will hold me back from the level of success I want? What bad habits do you currently have? And are you willing to cut that off?
If you have a bad habit, that will transfer over into your trading. So you have to develop good habits to make sure that if it's taken away from my trading, if it's taken away from my ability to do better, then I might have to do something different. We can't keep on doing the same thing. The next one is, what am I truly willing to sacrifice and why? Why are you willing to sacrifice it? If you have your goals, if you're saying, I want to do better, I want to be able to take vacations, I want to be able to spend more time with my family, I want this type of lifestyle, then there's something that you have to give up. There's some type of sacrifice that have to happen. And you have to tell yourself in the days then you're doing it, you have to say, why am I doing this? Because you're going to want to go back to those old habits. But then you have to remind yourself, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for my family, for legacy, for change. So remind yourself why.
Yes. The last one I want you to do is, if you don't change anything right now, like today, your whole life, how it's going, will your current lifestyle give you the freedom that you're asking for? That's a really deep question. So those are some of the questions, just reflective questions that I wanted you guys to actually write down, journal, comment, let us know. Because if you are able to answer this, you are already setting yourself up for success. So the cost, right? Let's talk about the cost of freedom in trading. Educating yourself comes at a cost. Either if it's financial costs because you're getting mentorships, you're getting into certain types of groups, or just time costs. You're studying, you're learning, you're putting in the work. That's one of them that I would have to say.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, switching up your schedule, right? If that's looking like, all right, I have to get up earlier, then get up earlier. Give yourself a little bit of time. So if you get up normally at 7 o'clock in the morning, what does it look like for me to just get up an hour early? Challenge yourself and work towards it. If you're already getting up early because you have a busy life in the mornings, then are you willing to sacrifice and stay up an hour late so you could work towards that? Because with us, there's times where people don't see this, but we're up 2-3 o'clock in the morning with businesses that we're running. It needs attention, right? Then we have to wake up early again in the morning. So those are things that we're willing to sacrifice, but why are you doing it as well, like we mentioned before?
And the next one is delayed gratification. Guys, I know you want that new car today, right? You might want that Mercedes, you might want that BMW, but do you need it today? Can you take some of your funds and work on educating yourself so later on you can get that vehicle of your dreams, right? Sometimes we want things now and we don't want to wait for things. But if we're willing to wait, the outcome will be so much better. Some people want that brand new house. They don't care what the cost is. But would you be willing to stay where you are for another 6 months to a year? This is where I call the lock-in period. You are locked in. So you have to say, you know what? When I get to this certain income in trading, then I'll go get the brand new house. That's what George and I do. A lot of people say, oh my God, they have this, they have that. But you didn't see the delayed gratification, right? You didn't see the days where we said, you know what? We're just going to go rent. We're just going to go lock in for a year and then go build that house, right? We've done this multiple times. People don't see that where, you know what? I know I want that car right there, right? But I don't have no payments today. So I'm willing to drive the no payment car for another year or two. Delayed gratification is everything, guys, because the thing you can do with that money, because what you're going to go get is going to cost you more. So your lifestyle is going up. Yeah. So instead of doing that, you can just hold on tight just for a little bit.
You know, the crazy thing is beginner traders, you probably start out your first week and be like, yo, all right. And you made $3,000 that first week and be like, oh my God, I'm rich.
Yeah.
I'm about to be rich. You go on that Mercedes lot, you go on that BMW lot, you go looking at Ferrari and be like, yo, I'm gonna be rich. And then you get smacked the next week. So in a sense, delay those gratification because you might start out winning, but prepare yourself for the day that you lose. How are you gonna handle that emotionally? Delay those things. Make sure that you're perfecting your craft. You're developing over time and be like, all right, you know what? I'm getting better and better. This is becoming consistent. For us, it took a while. What you're seeing right now, it took us a while to get where we're at. Yeah. We've made mistakes, like blown accounts. All those things happen, right?
Correct.
So in a sense, does it need to happen to you? No, it doesn't have to happen to you. Can it happen to you? Probably will. If you don't have the right accountability, the right partner, the right community.
It's part of the process. Let me just be honest with you guys. Those are just things that are part of the process. Mentorship or no mentorship, you're going to have to learn because you're going to want to step out by yourself and try a thing or two.
And you get smacked.
You might.
Yeah.
You more than likely will. And it's okay. You know, it's just part of the process. And consistency, guys, sticking to the plan regardless if it's boring or not.
Because it becomes boring over time.
It does.
it becomes boring over time.
But it's okay.
Because the thing is, it's the same setup.
Waking up at the same time. You may be eating the same foods because that's quick and convenient.
It's not even that though. The trading part, it's the same thing. What works for you? Like, don't change that. A lot of people come in and try to change that. No, if you're profitable on this trade, use the same setup every single time. That's the boring part. People try to chase, try to follow FOMO. People try to trade news when you never trade news before and you get smacked. Keep it simple. If it works for you, don't go add in more indicators. Don't go add a new strategy. No, stick to the same boring stuff and it will pay off.
Trading for freedom is absolutely worth it. It's all about what are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? Writing down those questions that we gave you so you can analyze and understand where you're at is going to make a big difference. Reflecting and staying disciplined and consistent throughout this process. This is why we invite you to come over to the Married to the Market Discord. We have educational stuff every single day, from our blog to our market recap. Every Sunday you have Sunday signals. We have the lives. Now you get the lives after the fact so you could see and fact check us because we're real. Nothing is done without it being recorded. We want you to be able to go back and say, you know what? They are the real deal because they show all of it online. Everything is documented.
All my trades are documented. If someone is talking smack, it's okay. We record every single trade and then I post them afterwards on YouTube. So those you will see in George's live trade. So that's the thing for us. We want to make sure. And for me, it's like I can go back and reflect on those. So it's kind of like my back test in the sense now, am I going to go back every single day and look over it? I can see with my journaling when I'm done, and then the nightly recaps, I do those as well to go over my trades and let other people come in and understand those trades. Why did I take those trades? And it's kind of like journaling for me, but verbally, and showing other people, educating them at the same time as far as this is the reason why I took the trade. This is how you can take trades as well and look at the markets.
The question is, are you ready to pay the price for the freedom that you require? So guys, please come into the Discord. We also do have our mentorship that will be starting. All the information is going to be in the description below. You just click on the link. If you want to sign up for the waiting list, you're more than welcome to sign up for that waiting list. August 18th is the next one, right? So do not miss out on that ability to just lock in, to learn the strategies, the mindset, the risk management, everything we are going to be teaching you. It's time for you to take that first trade, right? It's time for you to step out in faith and get started. Nothing is stopping you but you. And we believe that you can do this with the right community, the right people behind you. You just have to believe in yourself. So, you know, it doesn't cost us anything if you don't want to do it or not. But the question is, what is it costing you in waiting? Keep putting this off year after year. It's time. And if we got to push you a little bit, that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much for watching Married to the Market podcast. Share this with a friend. And don't forget to comment below and let us know one thing you took away from this episode today.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.